Pay only $13 a month for 36.
Good morning, America. The new warning as two monster storms hit both coasts. A nor'easter pummeling 70 million from the Carolinas to Maine with hurricane-force winds, rain, and snow. While out west, police are going door to door, ordering people to evacuate.
Changing course? President Trump meets with the NRA late last night. The group's top lobbyist tweets that Trump now does not want gun control, just a day after that stunning bipartisan meeting. This as the president announces new trade actions, igniting a possible trade war, sending stocks tumbling.
Poison plot? This woman behind bars this morning, charged with attempted murder, accused of lacing a cheesecake to allegedly kill a woman who looked like her and steal her identity. How her love for selfies landed her in jail.
And Hollywood's most magical night, just 2 days away. Will Lady Bird fly? Will I, Tanya, win gold? And the new report about Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. After that unforgettable Best Picture moment. Are they planning a huge surprise?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. Hope you're well this Friday morning. Just 2 days till the Oscars.
And take a look. They have rolled out the red carpet there at the Dolby Theater. A lot of speculation about whether Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty will be back. You asked about this, Michael.
I think they should get a do-over.
Yeah.
Wasn't their fault.
Sure, not at all.
But before we get to that, we're going to begin with those dangerous storms hitting both coasts. Our team is spread out from California to New York, and we're going to start with that nor'easter. It's bringing serious and dangerous snow, wind, and rain. Rob is outside Times Square, and he's going to lead us off this morning. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Michael. It's nothing short of a miserable day to start your Friday across the East Coast, and it's only going to get worse as this storm continues to strengthen and sticks around for a good day. And it's not the only one. We've got the strongest storm of the year now hitting the West Coast all the way down to Southern California. More on that in a second. But this nor'easter is really going to intensify over the next 12 hours. You see the rain, the snow. Speaking of snow, Syracuse already 10 inches, or forecast for 10 to 12 inches there, already a foot of snow in some spots. And we're already starting to see wind damage from this across New England. Winds gusting over 50 miles an hour in Boston. Winds gusting over 60 miles an hour already just outside of D.C. And you can see we have high wind warnings all the way down to Georgia with this system. And on top of those winds, big waves and coastal flooding. It's all going to be the worst along the coast. And that's where we have Gio Benito's live for us this morning in Situate, Massachusetts. Gio, good morning.
Hey, Rob, good morning to you. Listen, we're already feeling wind gusts here of up to 35 miles per hour. And just look at this water right now, because this is the real concern. You're going to have high tide later this morning, and then you're going to not have that water recede till late tonight. So there are flooding concerns all across the East Coast. This morning, it's scenes like these in Pennsylvania.
There it is right there.
And in New York that have millions on edge. That massive nor'easter sitting off the East Coast overnight, packing heavy rain, snow, and damaging winds. Some people needing assistance because of those slippery conditions. The powerful storm already leaving a trail of destruction in its wake.
I will be very careful in here.
The roof of this produce business in North Carolina smashed through by tree branches. In Tennessee, heavy flooding forcing residents to kayak through their own front yards. And in Ohio, more than 50,000 customers already without power. The storm now taking aim at the Northeast with the potential for major coastal flooding. In Massachusetts, evacuations already underway as officials worry the damage could be even worse than January's devastating nor'easter.
It's a heck of a storm, and people need to take it seriously.
And here in Situate, schools are already closed. And of course, these officials, they want people out of here by 10 a.m. today. Now, Robin, what's just incredible is that already from Massachusetts to Virginia, we have more than 250,000 customers without power.
All right, Gio, be safe out there. Let's go to Amy Free. She's a meteorologist for our New York station, WABC. She's out in Long Beach. Good morning, Amy, and we can tell that the wind is picking up out there, too.
It really is, Robin, and the rain coming down. We're at 1.5 inches right now. It's coming down sideways at times. I know millions of people are out there just trying to make their way into work, but we've also got the ocean racing in, and this is going to be a main feature here of the nor'easter during high tide today, which is happening in about 15 minutes behind me here at Long Beach. We'll continue to see the waters close in, and we are expecting moderate flooding in these areas. We've also got the winds, which are expected to gust at the east end of Long Island up to hurricane force, even 75 miles an hour throughout the day today, Robin. So this is going to be a nasty storm.
It really already is.
And it is making for messy travel today. Our senior transportation correspondent, David Curley, tracking it all from Reagan National Airport. Good morning, David.
Morning, George. It's already a mess out here. A colleague of ours was on a jet out on that runway, lined up, ready to take off, and the pilot said, "It's too windy, we're not going." That's just the beginning. Let's take a look at the numbers as they stand right now. I believe these are going to go up, but at this hour, 1,500 flights have already been canceled. And if you break it down in the Northeast, you can get a sense that it's going to be hit extremely hard. In fact, the Air Force so worried it moved Air Force One to the west of us, to Dulles International Airport, so the president can fly to Billy Graham's funeral later today. They took it from the military base to that airport. And of course, the storm hitting on the west coast as well. Airports there could be affected as well, George. And don't forget, you add the ripple effect. Everybody may feel this before the day is out, George.
East and west.
And speaking of west, targeting an area already hit hard by recent mudslides. ABC's Kana Whitworth is in Montecito, California, where residents have been ordered to evacuate. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, Robin, good morning. People here are on edge. We were actually just issued a flash flood warning, and that's going to be in effect for the next 3 hours. That's impacting some 30,000 people. 22,000 of them have been evacuated. And where I'm standing right now is actually under a mandatory evacuation order. And you can see they have sandbags lining the area. There's also road closures right here. Authorities are saying at this point, Robin, they cannot take any unnecessary risks.
And search and rescue teams are at the ready, aren't they?
They sure are, Robin. They have extra equipment and extra crews on standby, ready to go. The sheriff's office was out last night going door to door, urging people to get out of their homes. We have several school closures in the area. Right now, the California Highway Patrol is monitoring the Highway 101, deciding if they need to close that as well. Again, this has been a terrifying situation for folks here. I spoke with the Coast Guard, who says they have their regular search and rescue helicopter ready to go, and they have an additional crew on standby in case the Santa Barbara Department of Emergency Services needs any assistance. And Robin, I have to tell you, authorities here say this is now the new normal.
They have been through so much, as you know, Kana. Okay, thank you. Let's go back to Rob now for the timing of the storm hitting the east.
Hey, Robin, unfortunately, the timing is it's going to hang around all day long and even into tomorrow. You'll survive by standing with your back to the wind and staying off the roads if at all possible. We're looking at throughout the day that low, you see it doesn't move a whole lot. The winds only increase, especially along the coast, but we're already seeing inland wind gusts well over 50 miles an hour. You saw that white. That white is going to be snow that will mix in all the way down to the coast late in the day. And even though it's going to be wet, it may very well pile up on the sides of the roads or in some areas, slushy roads. 6 to 12 inches of snow in the inland areas. Could easily see more than that, upwards of 20 inches in some spots in parts of the Catskills and New England. But the big story is certainly going to be the wind. And the coastal flooding with this could be damaging winds on both counts. That's going to be the hallmarks to this system. We'll talk more about that very powerful California storm in just a few minutes.
It's going to be a long day. All right, Rob, thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to the White House now, Robin, where President Trump held a late-night meeting with the National Rifle Association. The group's top lobbyist then tweeted that the president does not want gun control, just a day after the president told bipartisan lawmakers he wanted comprehensive new legislation. Our chief White House correspondent, John Carl, has the latest. Good morning, John.
Good morning, George. At this point, it's anybody's guess where the president stands on guns and school safety, all part of a topsy-turvy couple of days here at the White House, where the president also rattled financial markets with an announcement that caught his own economic team by surprise. A day after shocking his closest allies by seeming to embrace new gun measures, President Trump revealed his secret meeting last night with the NRA's top lobbyist, tweeting, "It was a good, great meeting in the Oval Office." The NRA's Chris Cox, who met with Trump and Vice President Pence, suggested the president may have once again changed his tone on gun control. POTUS and VPOTUS support the Second Amendment, support strong due process, and don't want gun control. Just a day earlier, the president met with lawmakers in the White House and called for action on multiple gun measures opposed by the NRA, telling the group they shouldn't be afraid to take the NRA on.
Some of you people are petrified of the NRA. You can't be petrified.
One thing he embraced, taking guns away from people considered a threat, even without a hearing.
I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
That put the president at odds with the NRA and his Republican base.
I still support him, but he and I are just going to have to disagree on this idea of due process.
The Oval Office meeting with the NRA wasn't the president's only surprise Thursday. He also stunned markets and his own economic advisors by imposing new tariffs on steel and aluminum imports.
So we're going to build our steel industry back, and we're going to build our aluminum industry back.
The move, which sent markets tumbling, deeply divided the president's economic team. The president's top economic advisor, Gary Cohn, had firmly opposed the tariffs, warning it would raise costs for American manufacturing and could trigger a trade war. Just an hour before the announcement, top White House aides were assuring people that the tariffs were not coming. I am told the president only decided to go forward as he was meeting with those steel executives that ultimately were by his side as he made the announcement. And George, look at this tweet this morning, another one sure to catch some of his top economic advisors by surprise. He said, when a country, USA, is losing many billions of dollars on trade, and virtually every country it does business with, trade wars are good and easy to win. He goes on ending, it is easy. Trust me, some of his top economic advisors and most economists might take issue with that.
Yeah, with the idea of a trade war being good. Meantime, the president is on a mini tweet storm this morning, including taking on Alec Baldwin. But you saw that trade wars are good tweet. Is it certain the president's going to follow through with this announcement next week? And will Gary Cohn, his top economic advisor, leave if he does?
First of all, nothing is sure around here, but I tell you that White House officials are telling me the president fully intends to go through with this announcement next week. As for Gary Cohn, he fought tooth and nail to prevent this, and then he was caught by surprise when it happened. I've had several people here at the White House question whether or not he can stay here or whether he will resign.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. We're going to bring in our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, for more on the plunging stock market. And good morning to you, Rebecca. The Dow closed down more than 400 points after the president announced these new tariffs.
Yeah, first of all, Michael, Wall Street does not like to hear the word trade war. So while this is helpful to U.S. steel and aluminum companies, which have been lobbying for these tariffs and whose stocks surged on the announcement, it also means American manufacturers will have to pay more for those materials. And that could ultimately mean price hikes for customers, for consumers. So think of any product that comes in a can, beer, soda, that uses aluminum and steel, cars, building materials like wiring and beams. All of those businesses see their costs go up. And the question is, if that's the case, how much of that do they ultimately pass along to consumers? And what is the ripple effect of that on the economy and on jobs, Michael?
Do not mess with the Pepsi or the Coors Light. You know, that's what a lot of people are saying. But they could cost more because of this. So what are these companies saying about this morning for the consumer?
We've heard from a handful of companies speaking out against this. For example, Molson Coors, where we're unclear yet what it will specifically do to prices. They are saying that U.S. consumers would surely suffer. They're calling the move disappointing, misguided, and they are warning of job losses across the beer industry, Michael.
All right. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
We'll be watching the markets today. White House also responding to that new show of force from Russian President Vladimir Putin. He's flaunting nuclear weapons that he calls invincible, and he also simulated a strike on Florida, saying U.S. missile defenses will be useless. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, has the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The White House response to Putin's provocative speech echoes Cold War language, saying that we will ensure our nuclear arsenal is unmatched. But Putin's presentation was unnerving, projecting on giant screens animation of a nuclear-powered cruise missile, which he claimed could travel low and fast through any kind of terrain and blow past any kind of obstacle, including our ballistic missile defense system. And in that animation, that missile appeared to be heading for the western U.S. Additional animation, as you said, had missiles raining down on Florida. The missile has been tested, but it is not in production. But U.S.-Russia relations are at a low point, and the two sides are not having any meaningful talks. George?
Yeah, we have not seen nuclear saber riding like this since the Cold War. Martha Raddatz, thanks very much. Michael?
Thank you, George. Now to the new fallout from the USA Gymnastics abuse scandal. This morning, Olympic gold medalist Aly Raisman announcing she's suing USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic Committee. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is here with the details. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Michael. Aly Raisman refusing to wait any longer for these organizations to do what she says is a critical step to moving forward, a full investigation. She says she hopes by filing this lawsuit, they will be held accountable to make changes to keep this from ever happening again.
I'm no longer a victim. I'm a survivor.
This morning, Olympic champion Aly Raisman suing the United States Olympic Committee and USA Gymnastics.
We still have to hold these organizations accountable. They enabled this monster. They took his side over us for so long.
Raisman, who brought home Olympic gold for Team USA in 2012 and 2016,
A return to the Olympics has been worth it.
alleging that the organizations are partly to blame for enabling her abuser, disgraced former doctor Larry Nassar. In a new lawsuit, Raisman's lawyers say the organizations put their quest for money and medals above the safety of minor competitive athletes, claiming they failed to adequately enforce policies which would prevent employees from engaging in sexually abusive misconduct. The lawsuit also alleging the organizations failed to report Nassar's suspected history of sexual abuse to Raisman and her parents.
Treatments with you were mandatory. You took advantage of that. Lying on my stomach with you on my bed, insisting that your inappropriate touch would help to heal my pain.
The suit also showing this letter the former head of USA Gymnastics sent to the USOC in 1999, describing the USOC's safety procedures as part of a fundamentally flawed process, claiming the organization showed an apparent indifference to the welfare of young children. 20 years after that letter, while facing her abuser at his sentencing, Raisman shed no tears, but weeks later admitting the truth.
I know I looked strong in the moment, but after I was a mess, it felt like it took me weeks to recover.
And we reached out overnight to the USOC and USA Gymnastics, but have not heard back. All this as the first male gymnast has now come forward with allegations of sexual abuse from Nassar.
It's far from over.
Not very much far from over.
All right. Thank you, Eva.
Okay, Michael, we're going to turn now to Reverend Billy Graham. He will be laid to rest in Charlotte, North Carolina later this morning. President Trump and Vice President Pence are expected to be among the guests in attendance. Graham became just the fourth private citizen to lie in honor at the Capitol Rotunda in Washington earlier this week. The funeral is invitation only, but as we know, his unofficial title was America's Pastor, so the service will be live streamed online so others can watch. Reverend Billy Graham died last week at the age of 99.
After a remarkable career. Let's go back to Rob.
All right, George, let's talk about this West Coast storm. It's the most powerful of the season. Last year, they had 5 of these. Normally, they'll only get 1, and they're getting it right now. Look at this. In Tahoe City, traffic, a nightmare there. And this is Squaw Valley. Snow coming down to 4 inches an hour sideways just down the road and up the mountain, up Alpine Meadows. Winds measured over 130 miles an hour. Just to give you an idea just how powerful this storm is. And blizzard warnings are posted for the Sierras today. In the flash flood watch, you saw Cana's report. Southern California, in those burn-scarred areas, they're going to see rains that could bring flash flooding and possibly mudslides and debris flow over an inch there and up to 7 feet in the Sierras. Time now for your weekend getaway is brought to you by Gain Botanicals.
Mother Nature. Nothing smells greater than the great outdoors, especially when you're in accounts receivable. Only one detergent can give you a sniff like this. The irresistible scent of Gain Botanicals laundry detergent. Bring the smell of nature wherever you are.
Whipping winds, the big weather story today. A high wind warning in effect through 6 a.m. tomorrow. 47 feeling like the 30s with wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour. Strongest winds through noon. Could even have a brief snow shower early this morning. We'll continue to see those gusty winds overnight tonight with lows in the 30s. Tomorrow, wind gusts to around 35 miles an hour. So still staying windy this weekend. This weekend will be dry, sunny and breezy for your Oscar Sunday and staying cool heading into early next week.
East Coast, West Coast, we are all inclusive today weather-wise. It's a miserable Friday. I tell you, the snow is already starting to mix in out there. We're just
out there.
Hey, they're hardy souls, man. Stay dry, stay warm. It's a tough one.
Busy day for you, Rob.
Looking forward to the weekend, guys.
Coming up, the bizarre case of a woman accused of poisoning a cheesecake to murder her lookalike, steal her identity, how her love of selfies landed her behind bars.